They literally chiseled the word defense off the wall of the Pentagon today and are going to replace it with the word war. Secretary of War, the War Department. Here's Pete on Truth Social with his new handle, Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. We are the War Department. And they have this whole video showing a montage of all the wars we've been in, because who doesn't want to go back to the fucking good old days when we had guys in trenches firing rifles at each other? Perfect. I just want to know, MAGA, didn't you guys vote for the No New Wars president? Wasn't this your guy?
I loudly pledged a new approach. Great nations do not fight endless wars.
I'm going to need somebody from MAGA to go ahead and explain to me how this is a good thing, because I know they're going to have some mental gymnastics. They'll accept anything. Jobs numbers down by to a third of what they should have been this month. That's somebody else's fault, right? Now we're the Department of War. Please explain it to me like I'm 5.
And now to late developments from the White House. President Trump signing an executive order just a short time ago that rebrands the Department of Defense. The directive makes the Department of War its secondary title. Officially changing the department's name would require a congressional approval. President Trump saying the move sends a message of victory and strength.
We won the First World War. We won the Second World War. We won everything before that and in between, and then we decided to go woke and we changed the name to Department of Defense. So we're going Department of War.
And as you pointed out,
the order also now authorizes Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and others to use the titles Secretary of War and Department of War in official correspondence and on public documents.
Shalom, it's your brother Darash Shamath, and I'm back with another lesson through the Spirit and Power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Karkudash. Before we jump into this lesson, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Karkudash. Of course, double honors to our elders and apostles at Great Millstone for bringing out this truth, and shalom to the hopeful elect, which includes 144,000, the rest of the elect out there scattered around the world, including those speckled bird Israelites who may look like the other nations but are not. This is not a black thing. This one goes out to the tribe scattered abroad. Shalom. So, I want to title this lesson, War is in His Heart. As you've seen the intro, they're changing the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War. And then the next video clarified that it's like the secondary name or whatever. But from this, you could glean, now even though this man, ran on, I'm going to be a president of peace, I'm not going to start no new wars. You seen what he doing over there with the Venezuela. That sent them ships over there. That bombed them people that was in that boat. Okay, even though it wasn't in American territory. All of this stuff. All right, he done dropped bombs on Iran. All of these things. You see the scriptures coming to pass. You can tell that war is in his heart. Okay, that's what this man is about. Okay, that's what the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, set him up to do. And there's no way around it, okay? You can't fight against prophecy, okay? You can't fight against the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. This is what he was set up to do, all right? He created good, he created evil. Evil people is set to do evil. The good is set to do evil. I mean, the good is set to do good, Salakia, all right? You get what I'm trying to say. That's just how it is, all right? He has a plan for all of us, okay? Just like Pharaoh. He hardened Pharaoh's heart, okay? Pharaoh was like, yeah, I'm going to let him go. And then, Ba'Shem Yahushai hardened his heart, and he don't let the people go. We've seen it happen, all right? So, same thing. His determination, Yahweh's determination is to gather all of these nations, okay? Pour out his fury and his wrath upon them, okay? They are going to World War III. It is coming. It is unavoidable, all right? So, let's get this precept. This is Proverbs chapter 55 and verse 20 to 21. It says, he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. And that's what Esau does. He breaks his covenant. All right. Say he gonna do this, he gonna do that. And he changed his mind. He do all kind of other stuff. And next thing you know, you got bombs flying at you. All right. So he gave his word to the people that what he was gonna do, he was gonna be a president of peace. He wasn't gonna start no new wars. Stuff like that. Now look at what he's doing. All right. Look at how he's moving, all right? So it's like just how, people say in the world, don't listen to what women say to you. Listen to their actions, all right? So DJ Trump moving like a woman. Verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. So they're going to tell you what you want to hear. All right, that's why he got in office. All right, that's how he pumped up those people. You know, his maggots, he pumped them up. Okay, them Christian evangelicals, he pumped them up with them smooth words. Now they all suffering because they understand. Well, they probably don't understand. They're not in that same elite class. Okay, like the elder say, Elder Malcolm out of Chicago, he always tell them, oh, they realize it. Well, they don't realize, but we realize that all they got to hang on is the so-called white identity. All right. And they just, sold it to them, gave them something to pacify them about. But that's not going to get them very far for what's coming, okay? What's coming is unavoidable, all right? We got Jacob's trouble, World War III quickly approaching, all right? Scripture say the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, okay? So he telling you one thing, but this whole time he thinking of how I'm going to attack these people because that's what he fought. That's his blessing. Okay, that's his blessing. That's what Esau does. All right, think about Revelations. Okay, that red horse. All right, we'll go there next. Okay, his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So he up there like, yeah, we good, we good. And then he turned around and he's signaling his boys to push the button, send the missile. Like that's Esau. All right? He's scheming on you the whole time. He like, yeah, we going to help you. We going to be allies. We going to build you up. Next thing you know, they done sent in the CIA and they done overthrown your government. All right? That's Esau, man. That sly devil telling you the stuff that you want to hear. All right? You can't trust this man. Okay? This man was made for war. That's what he's going to do. All right? And this is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 3. And it says, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red. All right. Now you take that back to Genesis, the 25th chapter. And it says the first came out red. Okay. All over like a hairy garment. Not describing that he was hairy when he came out, describing that he was red, like the red garments that they wore that were hairy back then, okay? So that's who this is talking about. Esau Edom. He's described as red in the Bible. He is that horse, that red horse, all right? So he has to fulfill his role in prophecy. Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, this word will not come back to him void, okay? So this has to happen. All right. And power was given to him. Okay. Power was given him. The horse represents power. That red horse is power. Okay. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Job 9:24. Okay. The Most High, he ruleth in the kingdom of men. Okay. That's Daniel 4:17. He set it up who he will. Okay. Even the bases of men. And he set up Esau Edom. Okay. That's who he set up. All right. And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Okay? The nuclear bomb. It's his big sword. It's his great sword. Okay? And that's what it's going to be used against him. And the end of all of this. All right? And so if you look at these, great wars, these, especially these world wars, Esau Edom was behind it. Amalek always got a hand in it. All right? He benefiting from it. All right? But this is it. This is their downfall. They think they're going to rise from the ashes like a phoenix after this, but they not. All right? They getting set up for the okie doke by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? Yahweh Shem Yahushai laughs at him because he sees his end. All right? That's what's going down. Now let's go to Genesis, chapter 27. In verse 39, and it says, and Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold. So this is he talking to Esau, because Esau was like, Jacob stole my blessing. How Jacob stole your blessing? You sold the birthright to Jacob. The birthright was the blessing. All right? All of that came together. What's wrong with you? You're just lying. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. So you're going to have the best things of the earth. That's why he done went out there and took everybody's land. Okay? Got the best places. Y'all always, I be thinking about that when I be like, dang, look at these, like these nice places you think about for in America. And it's like, oh, look at that mountain up there. Look at that house on that mountain. Look at that house on that lake right there. Okay, or you go to the islands, like, oh, look at this good place. This would be a nice beachfront property. Guess who owned it? Esau. Okay? Even in other people's lands, he owned the best of places in other people's lands. Because that's his blessing. It was given unto him. Okay? Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword thou shalt live. So he lives by war, by his sword, by his weapons. All right? So hence the Department of War. Okay? So this man is telling you who he is. Through his actions, he is showing you who he is. Hey, I'm Esau. All right? I got cool weapons, and I could use them. And you ain't got these weapons. Stuff like that. And by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. Okay? Now, they did serve Jacob, during the time of King David and the King Solomon. All right? And they go serve us again in the kingdom until they get Obadiah 1:18. All right? And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And right now they have the dominion. They broke their yoke off our necks, the yoke's off their necks back then. But hey, they got a drink of this cup. So their time is still coming. All right? Because wickedness, it's not go flourish forever. All right? So, hope this short lesson was edifying. Shalom Yasharallah.